Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk. Thank you, right? Out here in the lab, I do what I do for you. 3 hours in the morning, just like I like it. All right, I got something nice for you today. I'm taking it to the book. A lot of y'all don't like the book, but I got some students who appreciate the lessons from the book. So I got to try to make sure I get them there. So for those who don't like, they might be taking a day off, but I got to do what I got to do for those two. Let's go. Right thinking mission. And that's what, excuse me, writers in 25 rules live by. Storytelling, story with a message, always the message in the story, even when it's from the book. I got you. Let's do what we do. I appreciate you too. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. We got a good thing going. Let's continue. I got you. Right thinking mission. Yeah, that's what I'm on. It's to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that I get all right thinkers to do just that. That's why I do what I do for you daily too. Let's rock. Knowing thyself is the goal for all my right thinkers. It should be, but that's my intent to get you to do just that. And everything I do is based on giving you the information for that to happen for you. So that's why I do it. Let's go. Know thyself is the question I ask. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer, check me out. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not. Foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know. Excuse me. Not is simple. You teach them. That's what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got you. But a person who knows not and believe that they know, dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, they're asleep spiritually. I'm a spiritual monk. I'm here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. You might want to follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right, think to know thyself and to my yacht be true. I'm gonna read a few little excerpts from my book. Its title is called Mystical Education of Right Thinking Philosophy. These are the few tidbits, a few little things that you can acquire, pick up, and learn, and better yourself with. That's my goal, to get you to understand and know thyself. So this is going to help you out with that. This is going to tell you what you need to do to make that possible. I'm trying to work with you. Work with me. Let's go. First of all, it's from 1 to, I think it's 12 of them. And then another paragraph, so another page and a half to read. Try to break it down as I go. Try to simplify it. You know how we do. Let's go. First one is, it is to be understood that spiritual aspiration implies what? Seeking the union with what? Or becoming one with who? With the thing being sought. Why? Because this is the only way to truly know something. You can have options, excuse me, you can have opinions about what it is like to be aware, right? Yeah. But you would never exactly know until what? You become one with it. Same concept is about God. God unfolding all that exists is the one being worthy of what? Veneration. That means respect, the highest level. And identification. A lot of us believe in God. Why? Because that's what they're supposed to do. Do you know God? My goal is to get you to know Him for yourself. I'm going to tell you the things that when you do, He'll recognize you. Watch this. This knowing of the Netta, aka God, is the goal of all right thinking or spiritual practices. Religion, whatever you're doing, everybody's goal is to what? Get to God, to please God, to please God. We want to become one with God. That's how knowing that self is made up. Why? When you know yourself, you know something in for real. I'm trying to get you to understand that fact. God ain't out there. Find them within yourself, aka know thyself. And this is the supreme goal which must be kept in mind by all right thinkers, aka spiritual aspirants. If you're spiritual and you aspire to be better, your goal is to get to God. Number two, In order for that to happen, in order to discover what the hidden nature of God, again, you need to know emphasis is placed on what? Studying. Okay? Studying is important. They tell you, I study to show myself approved. I do every day. You should too. That's how it's done. God will recognize you. Why? He paying attention. Where we at? Studying and inquiring into what? The nature of things. Like what? Who am I? I ask you the question. Do you know you? Know thyself should be the main goal for all right thinkers. What is the universe composed of? Do you really care? I know a guy, he can tell you what the universe is composed of. He can tell you the depths of the ocean. He can tell you the circumference of the world. But he can't tell you who he is. So is he smart? Moving on. And next question, who is God? Do you God believers want to know who God is? Or you just take what they say and say, well, that's God. That's God just God. Everything is God, God, God. That's so annoying. It is so annoying. And next question is, how am I related to God? Ding, 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 ding. That's the $64,000 question. And if you haven't asked that question to yourself, are you really here? Do you really care? These are the questions in which, when pursued, if you have those questions, you should be in pursuit that would lead you to what? Discovery of the self, aka higher self or God. I'm God conscious. I'm God all the time. Why? Because you should be too. Simple. Those who do not, watch this, engage in this form of inquiry, I mean, you don't care, will what? Generate your own reality for themselves and what? According to what? Their beliefs. If you're living on belief, you're living in ignorance. Belief means not to know. Ignorance means not knowing. So that's another way of saying, I don't know. Well, I believe, that means you don't know. I know God. I don't believe in God. I know God. I know how to get to him. I talk to him. All that stuff I know. I'm not telling you to tell you some stuff to believe. I'm trying to tell you to know for yourself. Calm down. Some people, a lot of people, believe they have the answers. Again, watch this. That the universe is atoms and electrons and or energy. Oh yeah, we know that. Yeah, scientists will tell you that. If you're gonna be a scientist, knock yourself out. I'm a spiritualist. I don't need that information. It's good to know, but no, I'm moving. Others, watch this. Others believe. Again, we're dealing with belief. They don't know. They believe that the body is the soul, and that's there is nothing else. And that's it. There's nothing else. When this is over, that's it. If that's it, why are you trying to stay here? If ain't nothing else after this, that means you holding on to something that's going to end. That's being ignorant. So watch this. Now, still, you have others, here we go, more belief, that the mind is the soul, or that there is no soul and no God. Oh, I really ain't gonna deal with them kind. If you got that mindset, I didn't waste my time talking to you. Nah, you find on your own. That's why reincarnation is for all those ignorant people. You'll be back. The lesson in life to learn is knowing thyself. And I don't want to be the one to tell you, but until you do that, I found out the hard way. Moving on. But watch this. Now, the first qualification for serious right thinkers is that you have a serious what? Conviction. You got to want it. That you are greater than just what? A finite individual mortal body. I'm more than just this. You should feel the same way. And watch this. That you are what? Immortal being who is somehow mixed up with a temporary form, aka body. I tell you, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. The human part is the body. Same thing. Okay? What they saying, I can say the same thing my way, but it means the same thing. We are spiritual in essence, but the physical body is what we're in. So that's the prison. This body gonna run out. It got expiration date. The spirit don't. Understand that. So watch this. If this conviction is present, if this is what you want to be a right thinker, when you're stepping on the road to what? Enlightenment. Why? You want to know something. I know what you want to know. I'm going to give it to you. All you got to do is tune in and use it. That's my job. That's my mission that I'm on to do just that. No other reason. And the teachers, the right thinking teachers, watch this, will be useful to who? You. That's why I do it for you. Those who hold others' beliefs, watch this. Those who hold other beliefs are being led by, again, ignorance and lack of spiritual knowledge as a result of what? Their beliefs. Religion is based on belief. It ain't facts. It ain't, no, just believe. All you got to do is believe. You can get into heaven. Just believe in Christ. If you're heaven that easy to get in, I pass. Okay? Why? There's got to be more to it than just believing. And y'all believers should know that. But I keep telling you, ignorance is not knowing. Believing is not knowing. So if you're a believer, you're pretty much ignorant. It just said that. I didn't. I just teach it. I learned it. So that's why I put it to use. I know that too. So now I can teach it and let you know this ain't my words. This is what it said. I followed the book. And watch this. Thus, their beliefs will create their own reality for them based on what? Those beliefs. If you live in a belief world, they will need to travel the road what? Of nature, which will guide them in time toward the path of what? Spiritual enlightenment. You can believe all you want, but eventually you got to come my way. I'll wait. All right, let's go. But that's the concept. Next one, number 3. We just said number 2. And these are things that you got to physically and mentally understand to be a right thinker. You need to know some things about yourself to get you to God. Moving on. And my game plan prescribed by what? My teaching, my yoga philosophy, which is right thinking, and is the only true means. Listen, right thinking philosophy, yoga concept is the only true means to effective spiritual development because what it does, it reveals the inner meanings of the teachings and it is what? Experiential. If you know what that word means, that means for yourself. The 3 degrees, the 3 stages of Christianity, the myth, the ritual, and then the experience. A lot of y'all get caught up in the myth and the ritual and happy, yeah. But the work is in the mystical, meaning you doing what they say. If you follow the 10 Commandments, if you good Christian, you good. Why? A lot of y'all don't. That's why it don't work. Right there, because if you don't put the work in, it won't work. Simple. So there's no difference. You're the ingredient that makes the work. Watch this. Thus, their beliefs. Oh, did that already. Wait a minute. Oh, no, I'm down here. In essence, all my right thinking philosophies is experiential. You need to experience it for yourself. In essence, it is based on what? Your own personal experience and not conjecture, not my opinion, not just no. You can have your own experience with God. Trust me. Otherwise, worship and religious practice remain at what? The second level of what I just told you, ritualism only, and do not lead to enlightenment. If you just want to go to church every week, you just want to hear the story, yeah. And most of y'all just do that because ain't nothing in that. You ain't doing the work, you just present. The preacher's preaching, music playing, everybody in there feeling good. But how you living outside of church? Good Christian live righteous. Simple. It ain't that hard. But the phony ones, they go right back to doing whatever they was doing. They just get to go on Sunday. Today they holding it down. When the sun go down and tomorrow morning, they back to wilding out. Come on, and this is why you wonder why people who watch y'all, hypocrites, don't follow y'all. Why? They see what you're doing. They don't want parts of that nonsense. Sorry about that. Number 4. Excuse me, that was 3 and 4. Let's go to number 5 right quick. Now, ancients, the name Isis, her name is Aset, but the Greeks called her Isis. She represents, never mind the name, let's go with what she represents. Wisdom. itself, which what bestows the knowledge of what the true self of the initiate, which is you, right, thinkers? In the Osirian mystery, when Set killed Osiris by tearing him into pieces, he was what? Symbolically tearing up the soul. The concept was if the body ain't intact, it can't go into the afterlife. Set, the ego, was trying to stop the spirit from going to the afterlife conceptually. And watch this. However, here you go. However, I said, Isis, she restores the pieces. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king horses, all that came in, couldn't put Humpty back together again. Isis could, so she didn't need all them. She just needed her. Oh, Tahuti and Anubis, excuse me. But yeah, but the idea she's a restorer. She restored the pieces of the soul, which is her husband. And watch this. Therefore, pride and insolence, set egoism, will destroy the soul and knowledge of self. If you are egoistic, you ego-driven, you gonna kill yourself. You are destructive, self-destructive. The sign for Set is a man with a hatchet in his head. So if you want to be Set, by all means, take yourself out. But it tells you it will destroy knowledge of self, which is Isis, and she has to restore to what? Your true nature. The Greeks' name for Isis is supported by the ancient Egyptian. That was they take our stuff and change it to make it there. They got to refer to us because that's where they got it from. Watch this. One of the names of Isis, again, they're gonna change the name is Rekhat, Rekhat, or Rekhit, Rekhit. The A and the I pretty much flip flop. It means knowledge personified. And Isis solstice, Reek, is a name of what? The god in the Tua, afterlife, or another world. Who what? Who possesses knowledge. Now you got the another word, afterlife. You still need what? Knowledge. Watch this, which can lead the soul to what? The abode of the divine. Without knowledge, you can't do nothing. Why? You got questions and answers that people you got to deal with as you go. And thus avoiding who? The fiends. At each door is 12 gates. You got to go through each one. And if you don't have the right password, the right conversation, you are done. Because all of them have weapons. And what's this? The demonic personalities of the Dua, which lead the soul to experience, listen, hellish conditions after death, meaning you're going to suffer the fate that you live in this life. You're going to suffer that life. Simple as that. I guess they call it hell too, all right? But it's the experience that you will go through. The variation, recap, means sage. Oh, call me recap. How about that? Or a learning person. Same thing. Call me recap. Number 8. Now, true spirituality can't be pursued rationally or fanatically. I keep telling you, I'm God conscious. I'm God all the time, but I'm not running around raising the roof, praise the Lord. Every time somebody, hey, praise the Lord, everything, God, God, God. No, that's foolish to me. Okay, that's fanatical. That's being a fan. Fans are fanatical for their fans, for their team, whatever. I'm a believer. I'm a knower of God. I'm a servant, obedient servant of God, whatever you can call it. But I'm not a fan. Okay, I don't run around with pom pom. Yeah, God, God, God. Woo, wah, wah. No, I live, show, and do what God wants you to do with integrity and respect for yourself. He didn't ask you to go out here and act the fool in His name. He didn't ask you to go out here and steal the rob from the people in His name either. A lot of that going on. Moving on. Where we at down here? Okay, here you go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right, come up here. Now, okay. Number 8. True spirituality can't be, okay, here we go. In a fanatical way, going to extremes. I don't mind religious, but all that talking in tongues and fall out, wild out, I got a problem with that. So that's not my thing. I don't understand. Watch this. But really, spirituality is a yoga practice. Why? Yoga means in communion with God. That's what you're trying to do. So it's a yoga concept. Watch this. You got yoga, spirituality is what? A science of what? Balance, aka Maya, And it has been, watch this. This is why I do what I do. It has been developed over what? A period of how long? Thousands of years. This ain't just 2,000-year-old concept of Christ. No, this is thousands of years with well-established principles, which I live by. If you don't have morals and ethics and principles that govern you, you just a beast. You just gonna wild out. So this is the difference in being a right thinker. We govern ourselves accordingly. We act accordingly. We have integrity and self-respect. We carry ourselves like noblemen because we know ourselves. All right. Now, when you have well-established principles that govern that you live by, aka Maya, which what? When followed, produce the desired effect of what? Leading you to initiate from darkness into light. Darkness, aka ignorance, light, aka knowledge. In an unenlightened state of enlightenment, meaning you don't know yourself. That means you're ignorant of yourself. Let's move on. I see I'm at 20-minute mark. I got a little more to go. I want to get this in, so roll with me. Hold on. I know where I'm going. I'm fast to tell you. Here you go, number 10. Let's talk about the food. The food referred to as flesh foods, which is swine, sheep, fish, etc. You got pulse and salt. Indulgence in sexual activity. When you can't control below the waist, you're going to have issues called drama, fetters. But when you incorporate lower nature in your life, you're asking for problems. Okay, then it has two relevant aspects. The first one is it intensifies the physical experience of embodiment and it distracts the mind by creating what impressions in the subconsciousness, which will produce future cravings and desire. You're going to want more. When you get that, what you want? More. So that's the desires of the ego. They're never going to be satisfied. So sex is what you want. All you're going to do is want more. Money, what you want? Again, more. This state of mind renders what? The individual you incapable of what? Concentrating on anything significant, worldly, or your higher spiritual achievements. You're going to live on a lower level. You satisfy yourself. When you raise your conscience level and you do the right thing, you're living for a higher purpose, God. Okay. Now, secondly, control of what? Your sexual urges leads to what? Control of your sexual life force energy. I've been over that. I ain't going through that lesson right now, which can then be directed toward your higher mental, spiritual achievement. When you have sex retention, that sexual energy that you release when you're at the 28-day cycle, if you don't have sex, men, we talking about the men. Oh, women got cycle, so do men. Puberty cycle, cerebral spinal fluid. If it goes up 33 degrees in spinal column and it's purified, come back down, that's the gift that you have what? Long life. Okay. Santa Claus. Moving on. It's another little quick lesson. It said go to number 11, said go to number 1. Since we did number 1, I'm not going there. I'm reading the last one. There are two very important points in this line. Once again, we are being what? Reminded that good association, gave that lesson too, didn't like that one, so okay. Or keeping the company of what? A sage, again, or other enlightened personalities is a powerful means to what? Gain and obtain knowledge of the state of what? Enlightenment. You have to learn from somebody. To this end, you strive to keep what? Good company in your family relationships, as well as what? Your non-family relationships. Reading uplifting books by respectable sage and the teachings by the masters. When you discover a more evolved personality, what should you do? Seek to maintain contact by reading their books. I'm in the process of writing the book, but my book is about me. It ain't about nothing else. So I gotta get, my thing is I got a bunch of books that got knowledge and information. All I'm gonna do is just tack on. So I'm not big on that concept. But anyway, you gotta write a book. You gotta write a book. Mm-hmm. When you discover a more evolved personality, you seek to maintain contact. Do not, listen, right thinkers, do not debate with those who lack spiritual knowledge. It's a waste of time. Most of them are religious, so don't waste your time bickering, debating back and forth. This form of interaction will what? Weaken your mind, as what Jesus said. Again, I always bring back the you keep bringing stuff from the Bible. Yeah, because I know you know the Bible. So I use what you use so I can get my message across. Jesus said, cast not your pearls before swine. They will trample them as what? They turn against you. Trust in the omniscient divine self who knows what past, present, and future, who manifests as what? Nature to lead others on the path. Spread the teachings of yoga, right thinking philosophy, to who? To those who are what? Interested. I can tell by the views who interested, so I know that. Okay, that's what I put it there for. For those who want to borrow food. Some days it's 100, some days it's 5. This is weird, but y'all are who y'all are. I understand that. Let me wrap this up. Spread the teachings of right thinking philosophy to those who are interested. Only of those whom you practice with also. Am I right thinkers? This kind of interaction will keep you both in what? Increase, it will keep you both to increase your understanding and to generate a positive frame of mind. The second important part, wrapping up, taking home, refers to continuous reflection and meditation on who? The divine, which is also expressed in the opening prayer on page 1 of this book. Give thyself to God, keep thyself daily for God, and let tomorrow be as today. I love that. Why? That's what I do. That's one of my favorites. It implies what? That one mind should be constantly remembering the divine, God conscious, and glorifying divine, living right, doing the right thing in all things at all times. So if you're not God conscious, the devil got you. It means not allowing your mind to develop attachments to what? Fleeting events of human life by their positive, be they positive experiences or negative ones. Don't let what's in the world control you. That's what they're trying to get you. It means not allowing negative thoughts and bad feelings to lead you into what? A pursuit of illusionary pleasures of the senses, which will draw you away from who? The divine awareness and realization. If you're following an illusion, you're not real. It means centering the mind on what? Self-discovery and introspection at all times, regardless of what your activities may be, and those activities should be based on solely on what? The principle of righteousness, virtue, justice, and order, aka again, Maya. Now, this form of spiritual practice is known as right thinking philosophy or mindfulness in Buddhism and the Vedanta philosophies in Egypt. And here we call it right thinking philosophy. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I know it's a little long, but I know it was informative.